Voters keep saying over and over again, we are not comfortable with this level of immigration. I understand why. It doesn't make you a racist to say that. And yet, the liberal parts of, certainly in America, Alex Padilla said last week, he is our senator here, by reviving Trump's asylum ban, Biden has undermined American values. And then they all stand back and go, we don't want to be called a racist, so we will not make a move on immigration.
So everyone is making fun of the left for their failed sanctuary cities. And now Bill Maher has joined in too. He says the whole idea never made sense in the first place. He even warned the DNC a long time ago, but they didn't listen. Now that same idea has turned into one of the biggest migrant problems ever, and Maher can't stay quiet anymore. Get ready, guys. This one's super spicy.
Again, the same principle as I was saying before about like the reverse of what liberalism really is. Liberalism is, for the sake of humanity and compassion, can we get these people off the streets? And woke is, how dare you ask them to move? This is their home.
They have rights.
No, it's not. There's got to be, there's easily a better solution to this. But instead they put them in hotels? That's your answer, hotels? Could everybody just stop the posturing?
Maher takes a strong stand on what he calls real liberal values. And for him, that doesn't mean turning city streets into open-air homes. He says true kindness means helping homeless people get off the streets, not making them feel comfortable living there. Real liberalism, he says, is about fixing the real problems, like mental illness, addiction, and people not having jobs. Not pretending homelessness is some kind of different lifestyle. He criticizes those who think homeless people should just be left alone. He calls that kind of thinking lazy kindness. According to him, not helping people isn't being nice. It's actually neglect. Maher reminds everyone that liberalism used to mean helping people rebuild their lives, not letting them stay lost while pretending it's empathy. He says progress isn't ignoring people's pain, it's ending it.
Don't pretend that you love migrants so much, and then when we send them to you, you don't like them. You know? You're full of and we can see that. Yeah, you liked them when it wasn't your problem because you're not a border state. And then when they show up in Chicago and New York, you're like, what the f***
is going on
with these people?
And you know what? He's right. We've seen blue states like New York, Illinois, and Massachusetts talk loudly about being kind and having open borders when it looked good on TV. But when the migrants actually started coming in, they freaked out. These states are the first to say welcome everyone and show off their compassion at press conferences. But when buses full of migrants reached New York City, when Chicago's shelters filled up, and when Massachusetts declared an emergency, their smiles vanished. They act nice when the cameras are on, but when the real problems show up at their door, they push people away. It's pure hypocrisy, all talk, no action. Turns out, it's easy to say open borders when the problem isn't in your own backyard.
Eventually, this was going to come to a neighborhood near you, and it is. We need to control the border. We need to call a state of emergency, and we need to properly fund this national crisis. We need help. We need help, and it's not going to get any better. From this moment on, it's downhill. There is no more room.
Let's talk about Mayor Eric Adams, the same guy who once proudly said New York would be a sanctuary city. Well, now that the migrant crisis has exploded, he's completely changed his tune. He's learned the hard way that this open borders dream doesn't actually work. The shelters are packed, the city's money is running out, and people are angry. So now Adams is suddenly asking for border control. That's pretty ironic, right? But what about Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass or California Governor Gavin Newsom? Do you think they will ever admit that open borders were a huge mistake? Nope. They'll just keep pretending it's all about compassion, even while their cities fall apart because of their own choices.
Voters keep saying over and over again, we are not comfortable with this level of immigration. I understand why. It doesn't make you a racist to say that. Yet, the liberal parts of, certainly in America, Alex Padilla said last week, he is our senator here, By reviving Trump's asylum ban, Biden has undermined American values. And then they all stand back and go, we don't want to be called a racist, so we will not make a move on immigration.
And that right there is the real problem. A lot of Democrats secretly know that open borders are hurting America. They see the crime, the stress on cities, and how services are breaking down. But they won't say it out loud. When the cameras turn on, they just smile and repeat the same party lines. Why? Because if anyone dares to speak the truth, the far-left crowd attacks them, calling them cruel or racist. So instead of honesty, we get silence. Instead of bravery, we get fear. They care more about looking good than doing good. And that's why this crisis keeps getting worse. Courage has been replaced by cowardice, all hidden under the name of political correctness.
It's going to get them to election day. It's happening. It's happening in Europe right now. It proves it in Europe, and it's going to happen here in America.
There's a real moral reason that we should let people into this country who are suffering.
At any number?
No, I mean,
But that's their point. But 64% of Latinos support giving the president authority to shut down the U.S. borders. 62% of registered voters would deport all migrants.
Now here's where things get really interesting. Bill Maher pointed out that even immigrants themselves don't want open borders. Crazy, right? The same people the left says they're helping actually want stronger border rules. Many immigrants came here legally, worked hard, and built their lives from scratch. Now they're upset watching others break the rules and crowd the system. They know that kindness without rules isn't kindness. It's chaos, but they've seen what happens when borders collapse and lawlessness spreads. So if the very people who lived through it are saying enough, maybe the Democrats should finally listen. Ignoring them isn't progressive, it's dangerous.
What do you New Yorkers think of how Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul?
Yes, you pronounced it right.
I take it you're a big fan. Have handled the city's migrant crisis. I saw today they're offering any of these migrants, this sounds like a game show, plane trip to anywhere in the world. There's policy, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here.
Now, let's talk about pure desperation. Mayor Eric Adams and Governor Kathy Hochul are both at their limits. Their big plan to fix the migrant crisis? Offer free plane rides to send migrants somewhere else. Sounds generous, right? But here's the funny part. No one wants to go. The migrants didn't risk everything to go anywhere. They came to the U.S. for a reason. So, the plan completely failed, showing how empty and clueless these policies really are. Now, the same Democrats who once bragged about being a sanctuary for all are quietly running away from the problem they created. They can't admit they were wrong, because that would mean saying the conservatives were right all along. Let's call it what it is, double standards. Liberals are really good at saying things that sound nice on TV, especially before elections. They talk about kindness, fairness, and equality. But when their ideas fall apart and create chaos, they suddenly go quiet and start blaming others. When the pressure hits, they act like they never supported those ideas. It's all fake, a big political show. They act kind when it's easy, but disappear when it's hard. True leaders stay strong even when their choices don't work. But most liberals today only care about looking good, not doing good. And now, that fakery is finally catching up with them.
Part of this is a backlash to how badly Biden handled the immigration situation. It can't just be like come one, come all. Which
Dude,
it
there's
was.
plenty of room here, and we need
Room.
There's plenty of room in America. Come on, there's not a lack of room
But
in America.
it's never about room, it's about resources. And about like having countries have to have a border. It just can't be, I mean, they've done surveys and something like 200 million people around the world, when asked, would you come to America? You could, yes, I would. Why wouldn't you? Lots of countries, are, and they would love to be here. You can't
I mean,
just
no,
let
right,
any...
right. The places aren't, but
Well, they are.
I mean,
that's why they want to
and
come.
it's usually because of America, what America's done.
Bill Maher sums it up perfectly. He says it's not about space, it's about resources. America might be big and rich, but it still has limits. You can't keep inviting everyone in when housing, healthcare, and jobs are already stretched thin. Being kind doesn't mean destroying yourself. That's not compassion. That's foolishness. Maher says people should fix their own countries instead of flooding into others. They should fight corruption, demand better leaders, and build strong systems at home. Because if America breaks under the pressure, no one wins. Saying no sometimes isn't cruel, it's smart. It's how a nation protects itself and survives.
Immigrants don't like it that the left seems to have this unrelenting negativity toward the country that these immigrants work so hard to get here.
Good point.
They really worked hard to get here. And when Trump says, I think a lot of them are going, yeah, you're right. It's where I came from. Why do you think I got on the ocean on a raft or walked 1,000 miles? Because I was living in paradise? There are places that are in this world, and the immigrants know it.
I might not use Maher's exact words, but he's absolutely right about one thing. Millions of people come to America because it's better than where they're from. They want safety, jobs, and a fresh start. But letting everyone in without rules doesn't make America kind. It makes it weak. Without control, we don't know who's coming in or why. That's dangerous. America can stay a symbol of hope, but only if it protects what makes it great. Law, order, and peace. If we lose that, America will slowly become just like the countries people are trying to escape. Maher's message is clear. America's kindness can't come at the cost of its safety. Sanctuary cities have failed. Blue states are backtracking. Even immigrants want border control. But the left still won't admit it. Open borders don't save people. They hurt everyone. True liberalism means finding real solutions, not chanting feel-good slogans. Until Democrats face the truth that a country without control isn't a real country, this crisis will keep growing. That America's heart is big, but its money and patience are not endless. And with that, today's video comes to an end. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more videos like this.